From all across America and from every state in our great union, it's the 25th anniversary of Mrs. America. A bright and beautiful representative from every state and Washington, D.C. has come to our oceanfront stage at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Hawaii, USA. Welcome to Mrs. America 25, honoring the millions of America's married women from coast to coast. Tonight you'll see our ladies at work and play, at home and in Hawaii. We'll look back at 25 years of love and entertainment, plus a special tribute to Miss Florence Henderson. 51 winners from all across the country will compete for the coveted title of Mrs. America. It's as red, white, and blue as apple pie. And Mom, and the American flag.
Aloha!
Welcome Leslie Lamb of Hawaii, the reigning Mrs. America, and America's favorite mom, the sensational Florence Henderson, and your host. She's the dynamic host from E to MTV. He's the Seinfeld regular who now helps the stars to tell the truth. Downtown Julie Brown and John O'Hurley.
Whoa, how about that, huh? How about that? Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, all of you. And congratulations to each and every one of you. And welcome to the silver anniversary edition of the Mrs. America pageant. And ladies and gentlemen, we just saw, that's not Polynesian patriotism. That was for each and every one of us that has been touched by the recent events in our country. And I'm sure there isn't anyone within the sound of my voice that doesn't echo with me as deeply as we have ever expressed it. God bless America.
Everyone is really excited to be here tonight. Everyone has a very strong opinion, and in fact, I could prove that to you right now. So, who's going to win tonight? Whoa! I'm sorry, what is it? Oklahoma, Louisiana. Wow, I don't even need a microphone.
Some very strong opinions out there, and I guarantee at least a few of you are 100% correct. Now, I have to say that I'm very proud to be here with these winners from every state in the Union, and the District of Columbia. And I think it looks as though our country's in pretty sensational shape, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. This year, we are just part of the fun of Hawaii's Aloha Festival Week, and tonight we'll look back at some great moments from earlier pageants And we'll have a very special presentation for our friend, Florence Henderson, and that was a surprise, which I just told you about. But we have more.
You didn't hear it up here. And we're also going to have the excitement of the Mrs. America, the only nationally televised pageant for the married woman, and her husband, and her whole family. You see, this pageant is solid red, white, and blue. And we're glad that you're here with us, right here at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, or you're catching it. All thanks to our friends at the PAX Television Network. Thank you.
And now the search for the new Mrs. America gets underway as we kick off the Parade of States with every one of our 51 winners wearing a costume.
Oh, no, this is not just any costume. Each costume represents a home state. And our ladies brought them all the way from their homes. And they range from the wise and the witty to the cute and the clever. And our Parade of States starts right now with our ladies introduced in the order in which the states entered the Union. So, ladies, take it away.
Mrs. Delaware. Mrs. Pennsylvania.
As the goddess of the Atlantic, I represent the beautiful beaches of the first state. From the city of brotherly love, where the first Scandinavian settlers encountered Native America.
Mrs. New Jersey.
From March until June, the Garden State is in full bloom with violets.
Mrs. Georgia.
Known for our southern hospitality, nothing is more welcoming than a basket of Georgia peaches.
Mrs. Connecticut.
I represent Connecticut and its beautiful state flower, the mountain laurel.
Mrs. Massachusetts.
Greetings from the Bay State. I represent the beautiful seashores and sea life of Massachusetts.
Mrs. Maryland.
Good evening. I represent the 2001 Super Bowl champions, the one and only Purple Baltimore Ravens.
Mrs. South Carolina.
Smiling faces and beautiful places. Sun Fun Festival in Myrtle Beach says it all.
Mrs. New Hampshire.
I represent the vibrant colors of fall foliage.
Mrs. Virginia.
Celebrating our founding forefathers who fought for freedom and independence that gave birth to our great nation.
Mrs. New York.
Greetings from the Big Apple. As an ambassador for Radio City Music Hall, I am a Radio City Rockette.
Mrs. North Carolina.
And from the Tar Heel State, home to great college basketball and the WNBA, Charlotte Sting.
Mrs. Rhode Island.
I represent the sailors who sail the beautiful waters of the ocean state. Anchors away!
Mrs. Vermont.
Snow angels dance in the freshly fallen snow of the beautiful Green Mountain state of Vermont.
Mrs. Kentucky.
Celebrating Daniel Boone, Kentucky's original pioneer.
Mrs. Tennessee.
Representing the volunteer state and the home of the Grand Ole Opry.
Mrs. Ohio.
I represent the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where the sounds of music enrich our lives with joy, love, and laughter.
Mrs. Louisiana.
Since I represent Louisiana's carnival season, you can call me Madame Mardi Gras.
Mrs. Indiana.
From the crossroads of America, I represent the Great Plains hunters and fur traders.
Mrs. Mississippi.
I represent the birthplace of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
Mrs. Illinois.
Celebrating the winter and holiday spirit of Illinois through the eyes of Florenz Ziegfeld.
Mrs. Alabama.
I represent the unforgettable night when the stars fell on Alabama.
Mrs. Maine.
From the blueberry capital of the world, I represent Maine's Wild Blueberry Association.
Mrs. Missouri.
Representing the riverboat casinos throughout the Show Me State.
Mrs. Arkansas.
I'm dripping in diamonds as I represent the natural state diamond mines.
Mrs. Michigan.
Representing the angelic beauty and majesty of Michigan's winter wonderland.
Mrs. Florida.
I represent the fabulous beaches of the Sunshine State, where it's always fun in the sun.
Mrs. Texas.
Representing the Lone Star State, I am a Texas cowgirl.
Mrs. Iowa.
I'm celebrating the fields of opportunity in America's heartland.
Mrs. Wisconsin.
Atop the rolling bluffs, where the eagles soar and the beauty is magnificent. I'm an angel representing the heavenly state of Wisconsin, better known as God's country.
Mrs. California.
Representing where life is always golden, and so is our state flower, the California poppy.
Mrs. Minnesota.
When the snow and ice melt and the temperature soars, there's only one place to go, and that's one of our 10,000 sparkling blue lakes of Minnesota.
Mrs. Oregon.
My costume represents the salmon, one of Oregon's abundant natural resources.
Mrs. Kansas.
Representing the golden wheat fields of Kansas. They are vast, they are rich, and we produce more wheat than anyone in the nation. Thanks to the Kansas wheat farmers, you'll always have a loaf of bread on your table.
Mrs. West Virginia.
Greetings from the Mountain State, almost heaven, West Virginia.
Mrs. Nevada.
Coming to you from the entertainment capital of the world, I represent the Las Vegas Showgirls.
Mrs. Nebraska.
I represent Nebraska's spirit for the Huskers. Go Big Red!
Mrs. Colorado.
My costume is adorned with over 3,000 silk aspen leaves. The aspen grove is the largest living thing, making the Colorado aspen tree the queen of the forest.
Mrs. North Dakota.
Greetings from the Peace Garden State. I represent our beautiful state flower, the prairie rose.
Mrs. South Dakota.
I'm proud to represent the beautiful Black Hills Gold of South Dakota.
Mrs. Montana.
Representing the Treasure State as an old-time Virginia City, Montana showgirl. Woohoo!
Mrs. Washington.
Representing Rain, I am Tatiana Gribb from Washington.
Mrs. Idaho.
Representing the Gem State, Idaho Star Garnet.
Mrs. Wyoming.
Representing and celebrating the Western way of life of the Cowboy State.
Mrs. Utah.
Representing the host state of the Winter Olympic Games, Utah welcomes the world.
Mrs. Oklahoma.
I represent the rich Art Deco architecture of Oklahoma. Inspired by the designs of Frank Lloyd Wright, my costume was designed and handmade by native Oklahomans.
Mrs. New Mexico.
Geographical wonders, united cultures, and friendly faces. I represent the land of enchantment.
Mrs. Arizona.
From Arizona, I represent the Phoenix Firebird.
Mrs. Alaska.
I represent the land of ice and snow, home of the Eskimo.
Mrs. Hawaii.
Aloha. As the Nautilus, I represent the bountiful Pacific Ocean that sustains our island home.
Mrs. District of Columbia.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. To thee I sing. I represent our nation's capital, the most powerful city in the world. Come on, give it up, ladies and gentlemen. My good grief.
Amazing. Aren't they great? Just like... Well, as we kick off Mrs. America's second 25 years, what a thrill to look back and see all the fun from the very beginning. So here's a little video memory of how it all started back in year 1.
Welcome to the new Mrs. America pageant.
runner-up is Mrs. Nevada.
Mrs. America 1977, Mrs. California, Ruth Johnson.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Mrs. America 2001.
Tomorrow, what kind of store has a scratch and lose contest?
$10 extra, please.
Is this real or is it Candid Camera? Tomorrow at 7, 6 Central on PAX TV.
To meet Christian singles, go to ChristianSingles.org, the nation's largest Christian singles organization since 1986. Attend numerous alcohol-free and exciting events, seminars, and outings monthly. Finally, ChristianSingles.org.
Planning to sell your home or condo this year? You're probably wondering how much it's worth. You can find out free on the web at housevalues.com. So if you're planning to sell, visit housevalues.com today. That's housevalues.com.
Take your time, Mrs. Scirocco. People often look alike.
That one. I remember that shirt.
Same one I got.
Are you sure he's the one that stole your purse? Absolutely.
$15, K&G.
I'll book him.
15? I mean, why steal?
But then again, could have been number 6.
Dress shirts, $15. Compare at 30. K&G, so much more for so much less.
Think we're going to be here a while.
Coffee?
Hi, I'm Paul Brooks from First Baptist Church in Raytown, and I'm here to announce the beginning of a new worship service. We've been worshiping for several years at 9:30, and now we've added an 11 o'clock worship on Sunday morning to accommodate crowds. You know, we'd like for you to be a part of that crowd this coming week. So why don't you bring your family and participate? That's 9:30 and 11 o'clock. We'll be studying the life of Christ. We're located in Raytown on 350 Highway. I'm going to look forward to seeing you this week.
Hi, I'm Kara Friedline, Mrs. Kansas, inviting all of you back home to help cheer me on as I compete for the title of Mrs. America on Saturday, October 13th, right here on PAX TV.
To meet Christian singles, go to ChristianSingles.org, the nation's largest Christian singles organization since 1986. Attend numerous alcohol-free and exciting events, seminars, and outings monthly. Finally, ChristianSingles.org.
Want more time to enjoy yourself this fall? First for Women makes your life better with topics that matter to you. Our beauty experts show you quick and easy new hairstyles for fall, plus beauty secrets from top models that take minutes. And we have the latest on health and diet. Our experts will help you lose weight and keep it off with our healthy and tasty recipes. We offer news and issues you care about. Be sure and pick up the October issue of First for Women on newsstands now.
Welcome back to the 25th annual Mrs. America pageant from the beautiful Hilton Hawaiian Village. And your hosts, Julie Brown and John O'Hurley.
Thank you, thank you. You know, we're always trying to think of new ways to show and tell more about the remarkable women of the Mrs. America pageant. And this year, the good folks at Polaroid had an idea that they developed, and no pun intended, and believe it or not, it only took them about 60 seconds or so. We sent each one of our ladies a camera and some film, and we said, show us a little something about you, what's important to you. And so right now, proving that a picture is indeed worth 1,000 words, here's another look at a few of our lovely ladies and their lives.
Well, I love to take pictures. It's always a fun thing, and of course the memories will last forever. So that's my silly husband. When we were packing for the Mrs. America pageant, he decided to go and try on one of my short little dresses. But he brings laughter into the relationship, and life is short, so you have to laugh.
I'm a geriatric physical therapist. I work with the elderly, and my patients are very important to me, so I took pictures with a lot of them, which they enjoyed. I learned so much from my patients. I'm supposed to be there teaching them, but I learned so much from them.
Most of the pictures that I took were of our cats. My husband and I have an affinity for exotic animals. We have 2 Bengal cats and a regular domestic cat, and we just adore them.
My most special one is the picture of my little 3-year-old just backed out. I just looked at him, and, you know, your baby sleeping is the most peaceful moment in this world that you can even imagine.
Now, did you know that we were the very first pageant to recognize the American married woman? And we're still the only nationally televised one, and thanks to some very special and talented people. Our first 25 pageants have been a guarantee of great entertainment and excitement. And here is another look back at just a few of our favorite moments and memories.
You always treat me tenderly. Oh, honey, most of all, I love how you love me. Serve the dinner, choose the wine, play the hostess like divine just to please me. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Talking about the lady, and she's one of a kind. See them rushes flowing, their windows at our feet. Push a little closer, and you will feel my heat. It's time for you and I again. Look at where I am. Tonight I landed, pow, right in a sweet grand slam. What a setup! Holy cow, they'd never believe it if my friend could see us now.
All right, now it's time to welcome back some of the most beautiful and accomplished married women in America. And tonight, one of them is going to take the title Mrs. America 2001.
Once again, don't they look fantastic? Absolutely sensational in their swimsuits by Carol Weir and shoes by Special Occasion. So, hey, all I can say is give it up for the 25th graduating class of the Mrs. America pageant. There they are.
Absolutely, and even more than applause. Believe it or not, it's time to give our ladies some more of the awards that they've earned. And again, they don't affect the final outcome, but they are very special honors indeed. And guess where they were?
They were in his pocket. He's like Mary Poppins.
All right. I think you'd like to start off?
Thank you. I would love to. Okay, we start and thank and congratulate this year's ad sales winner, helping to create tonight's beautiful souvenir journal. And she is Mrs. Texas.
And the next award is this year's Mrs. Photogenic Award. Take a picture. A very good look. And a very photogenic winner. And that is Nicole Brink, Mrs. Indiana. Julie?
Thank you so much.
Now, this is a good one for you because you
now, in the,
in
the category of fitness wellness, please congratulate this year's winner, a lady in terrific shape. Let's find out who that winner is. Mrs. Nebraska. Go, girl.
How about that? How about that? And finally, Mrs. Congeniality. That's a very special category because it's an honor that's voted on by the ladies themselves. And they have spoken, and this year's Mrs. Congeniality is Mrs. Maine. All righty. Congratulations to all of you. All right. Getting real serious now. When we come back, we're going to discover our 10 semifinalists. But first, it's time for another round of snapshots that were taken by our lovely amateur photographer. So here's just one more page from our Mrs. America photo album. Enjoy and hurry back, won't you?
The first picture was actually taken on an alligator hunt.
Labor Day weekend, pretty much the month of September is alligator season in Louisiana. So I do have a picture with a big 11-foot alligator holding his mouth open, so it's pretty neat. I have one of my grandparents. I took that's a symbol of what I strive to be in life. I strive to achieve the things that they have achieved, and that's my goal, is to be what they are, because that's who I am. That's a picture of Madeline and Justin, me in the swimming pool. They come stay with me during the week because my sister's working on her PhD. And that's a picture of my nephew Justin. I'm feeding him Ello. That's how he says Jello.
My favorite picture that I took were my two little ones in the bathtub with a bubble beard and, you know, big soap in the hair, and they just have these huge smiles on their face. And of course every mom thinks that their kids are the most gorgeous things in the universe, but pretty safe to say I really think my kids are the most gorgeous things in the universe.
We'll be right back with more of the 25th anniversary of Mrs. America.
This PAX TV program is brought to you by Slim Fast. Every day, get healthy.
The Meal on the Go bar from Slim Fast. Balanced nutrition designed to help you manage your weight and your life. Big brother, little brother. Car keys, cartoons. Plays in the band, plays in the sand. 6'3", 3'6". What brings these two to the table? Honey Nut Chex. The taste of golden honey and nuts that's sweet, but not too sweet. So everybody likes it. What'll they agree on next? Maybe girl? Maybe in a couple of years. Honey Nut Chex, bringing families together. For breakfast, anyway.
Savory garlic chicken, moist pasta, and crisp crumb topping. It's a telemarketer's nightmare. Introducing Campbell's Supper Bakes, the all-in-one meal kit that takes 5 minutes to prep. Your own chicken or pork, seasoned in our perfectly blended baking sauce. A taste so homemade, it could only come from Campbell's. Sorry, telemarketers. Campbell's Supper Bakes. Campbell is coming to supper.
Your eyes need nutrition as well as the rest of your body. So Centrum and Centrum Silver added lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Now your eyes, your toes, and everything in between are covered by Centrum and Centrum Silver. More complete from Ada Zinc.
It's time for the JCPenney shopping spree with 25% off great merchandise throughout the entire store. Everybody ready? Better make room. It's all inside and it's on sale. Hurry in to the shopping spree at JCPenney.
Tonight, when a patient goes under the knife, is it just a facelift or a face-off with death? To catch the killer, Doc Sloan becomes a man of many faces. Is he the next target, or is it guest star George Hamilton? A special 2-hour diagnosis murder mystery movie, tonight at 10, 9 Central on PAX TV. While investigating a miracle baby, Declan falls for a reporter. But when the baby vanishes, could Declan and his distraction be to blame? Mysterious Ways tomorrow.
Stay with us. We'll be right back to Hawaii for more of Mrs. America 25.
Cancer.
The doctor walked into the room and said, "You have cancer, and it's inoperable. You have only 6 months to live." So I turned to my wife and said, 33 years together is not enough. So I decided to fight, and I started looking for options. Our daughter, who is a nurse, told me about Cancer Treatment Centers of America. It's like no hospital you've ever seen. They treated me, the whole person, not just my tumor, with the latest medical technology, nutrition, and supplements to stimulate my immune system to fight my cancer.
To find out about alternative treatment options at our hospitals, call toll-free 1-800-234-9109.
It's been 7 years now. I beat cancer, and so can you.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America, winning the fight against cancer every day.
You never know where or when Parkinson's will show up.
the National Parkinson Foundation helps people deal with the shock that its diagnosis brings. Through its 800 number, its website, and several hundred chapters and support groups across the United States, it touches so many afflicted with the disease and their families and loved ones. People who have just heard a diagnosis of Parkinson's, first move should be to get in touch with the National Parkinson Foundation. It's where to go for everything you'll need to know.
We Americans are going through a tragic time. We all have painful emotions following these hideous events. Here are some ways to get through this time of crisis. Please ask for help if you want it. Avoid repetitive viewing of the terrible images. And do something. Donate money, donate blood, volunteer. For more information, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit our website. Together, we can save a life.
Welcome back to the 25th anniversary of Mrs. America. Aloha!
Hello there, and welcome back to our search for Mrs. America 25. The one American married woman chosen from these lovely 51 contestants behind me to represent our 60 million married women from coast to coast. How about that? And right now, the search begins in earnest.
That's right, it certainly does, but what an impossible decision to have to make, don't you think? How about one last hand for all of our ladies that have done such a great job? And now is the time. It's time to announce our 10 semi-finalists. John.
The judges have marked their ballots, and the international accounting firm of PricewaterhouseCoopers has tabulated the results. And our friend Jim Hasselman has the results. Jim, may I have the envelope, please? Thank you, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one this time. Our thanks, our hearts go to all of you. You've all done a great job so far. Each and every one of you is already a winner. The names are in no particular order, so here we go. Our first semi-finalist for the Mrs. America pageant. Married for just 2 years to a home improvement executive. You know who you are, Mrs. Virginia.
And our second semi-finalist is married for just a year and a half to a dental specialist, Mrs. Marilyn.
Our third semi-finalist. Married for 3 years to an accounting sales director. Come on down, Mrs. Illinois.
And our fourth semi-finalist is married for 3 years to a mortgage loan officer, Mrs. California.
Okay, and our fifth semi-finalist is married for 3 years to a certified public accountant. It is Mrs. Oklahoma. There you go. Here she comes.
All right. Well, we have 5 of our top 10 semi-finalists. How you holding up, ladies? All right. Should I get on to this?
Absolutely.
All right. For the final 5, we're going to start with our 6th semi-finalist, and that is married for 2.5 years to a medical executive. It is Mrs. Alabama.
Whew, I'm getting all hot. Our 7th semi-finalist is married just over 1 year to an anesthesiologist. It's Mrs. Indiana.
All right. And our 8th semi-finalist is Married for 4 years to an attorney, Mrs. Hawaii.
Okay, we're on to our number 9 semifinalist. Married for 7 years to an environmental engineer, Mrs. Utah.
Ladies, I hold within my hands the final passport to the title of Mrs. America 2001. She is our 10th semifinalist. Married for 25 years to a maintenance engineer, Mrs. West Virginia.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As we prepare to meet our 10 semifinalists, let's have a special salute for all of our Mrs. America contestants. Each and every one of them a winner. Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies, thank you. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, there they are, and here they come. Please welcome your 10 semifinalists, one of whom is going to be Mrs. America 2001.
Well, you know, in Hawaii, when you see them dance the hula, they say every movement tells a story. Well, it's the same with the Mrs. America pageant. We have lots of stories because our ladies not only work hard, but trust me, they know how to play hard too. So here's a little look at just some of the fun.
The paradise that is Hawaii offers the feeling of an international destination right here in the good old USA. And our beautiful delegates thought they'd get a closer look on board the Waikiki trolley. Their first stop was the governor's mansion. After a tour of the historic home, the ladies enjoyed a relaxing lunch with Hawaii's First Lady, Mrs. Cayetano.
We're happy to be able to say aloha to all of you and to wish you the very best as you continue your very fulfilling and purposeful journey.
The ladies then had a chance to experience some of the excitement on the other side of the island at Kualoa Ranch. This place has it all. Some chose a wild four-wheeling ride on ATVs. While others opted for a more relaxed ride on horseback. But the highlight for most was the short boat ride to Secret Island, a hideaway where the ladies relaxed and played in the surf. And what better place to show off this year's swimwear? Inventor and designer Carol Weir has revolutionized the swimwear industry with her patented Slim Suit collection. Back at the Hawaiian Village, some of the ladies took a ride in the comfort of the official car of the Mrs. America pageant, the luxurious Hyundai XG300. But it was hard to keep the ladies away from the water, and the Maitai'a state-of-the-art 44-foot catamaran provided the perfect ride and an awesome view of Diamond Head and the Waikiki shoreline. Once the evening arrived, our delegates took part in a historic fundraiser honoring the POWs who've served our country and remembering those who we have lost.
Tonight, as we mark our silver anniversary year, Mrs. America has been taking a few fond looks back, but right now we do so with a very loving look at the very lovely Florence Henderson.
America pageant, the 18th annual Mrs. America pageant from Texas. Yeehaw! Well, things are pretty exciting in here, girls. How you doing? Oh, good. Let me ask you, what's going through your mind right now?
My sore feet.
They say a good marriage is based on love, trust, understanding, and lots of stamina. Not necessarily in that order. How does this compare to your wedding night?
Night?
Thank you. That was a great answer. Welcome to the 17th annual Mrs. America pageant. Welcome to the 20th annual Mrs. America pageant. Hi. How are you?
Very good, Mrs. Brady. How are you?
Oh, this is so great, and I feel so at home. Oh, wait just a minute. Peter, I do have to do something first, okay? Here's a story of 50 ladies.
Our friends at Act Now and Mrs. America have formed the Act Now Alliance. It's the first ever partnership that is dedicated to helping America's women learn more about the potentially life-threatening disease known as osteoporosis. The World Health Organization has said the second largest health threat globally is osteoporosis. It's a debilitating disease which causes bones to become thin, weak, and susceptible to fracture.
Well, here in Hawaii, Mrs. America's winners formally signed a pledge for a year-long pilot campaign to carry the word of diagnosis and treatment to those at risk, believing that inner health might be the most important factor in outer beauty. Mrs. America state winners signed to become fracture fighters, actively leading the Act Now Alliance to help women in hometowns, home states, from coast to coast. So tonight, you've met people who've been very, very special part of Mrs. America's success over the last 25 years. So no one has been more special. You've seen her a little bit earlier this evening. More enthusiastic, better known, better loved. And I wish I was talking about me, but no. This is the woman that's known as America's favorite mom.
Well, you will have your time, I assure you. But on television, she has played everyone from Mrs. Carol Brady to the host of the Mrs. America pageant. But in real life, she is an even more remarkable woman, and she's become a leader in the fight against osteoporosis. She's been flying literally halfway around the world to be with us here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the first lady of fracture fighters, if you will, Miss Florence Henderson.
Hi. So good to see you.
And tonight, through the Act Now Alliance, we want to honor your achievements on many fronts, but especially your dedication to the health and to the well-being of the American woman, wife, and mother. You have shown throughout your career that you are indeed a woman of strength, a woman of character, compassion, one who embraces her fans and her friends, worthy causes around the world, and all of that and more. And it's our pleasure to present to you, with Act Now's first ever Mrs. America Woman of Spirit Award.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, I think I can hold it, Julie, because I work out. I'm really very touched to receive this award. And I am thrilled to be back for Mrs. America's silver anniversary. Yeah, isn't it exciting? Especially now that we have formed the exciting new Act Now Alliance to fight the fractures caused by osteoporosis. Today, more than 22 million women are at risk for osteoporosis, and a vast majority of them are undiagnosed. Until 14 months ago, I was one of them. I not only learned I had osteoporosis, I learned that 40% of all women over 50 will fracture bones from this disease. And healthy bones are the foundation of an active, vibrant life. We are the fracture fighters committed to helping America's at-risk women learn how to have healthier, more fracture-resistant bones now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Florence Henderson.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of Mrs. America 2001, right after this.
This PAX TV program is brought to you by Advil Liquid.
Was running the kitchen. I needed relief in a hurry. A big hurry. So I grabbed some Advil Liquid Gels. They get the strength of Advil into my system fast. They're even faster and better on tough pain than Tylenol. With Advil Liquid Gels, I was back in control, just in time.
Take Advil Liquid Gels and take control.
Let's see. Monday, we can have rice cake or a Campbell's chicken noodle. Chicken noodle.
You always knew Campbell's was good.
Tuesday, cottage cheese or Campbell's vegetable beans. Yeah, veggie beans. What's going on? Wednesday, Campbell's tomatoes.
And over 30 savory Campbell soups have under 100 calories and 3 grams of fat or less per serving. Every bowl, good.
Next Monday, New England clam chowder. I knew that.
Campbell's, good.
Can you see a difference? Even people who seem alike can have different nutritional needs. That's why there are 5 different kinds of Ensure to help meet those individual needs. Ensure, high calcium for bone health. Ensure, high protein for muscle. Ensure Plus for energy. All complete balanced nutrition when you can't eat nutritious foods like these. Give your body the Ensure that's best for you. Drink to your health.
Honey, I'm done working out.
Ooh, 5 minutes. You've beaten your own record.
What smells so good?
2 clues. It doesn't have extra cheese in a crust, and it's good for you.
No idea.
Lean Cuisine Skillet Sensations for great-tasting complete meals for 2, like new chicken Alfredo with penne and crisp vegetables. If you want someone to eat better...
Hey, what's the screen thing?
Give them something that tastes better.
It's a vegetable.
Oh, good.
Lean Cuisine Skillet Sensations. It's not just lean, it's cuisine.
I've always been a fighter, and I don't like to lose. So when I found out I could lose up to 25% of my bone due to menopause, you bet I was going to fight back. I had a strong ally who prescribed Actonel, our weapon. Actonel can reverse bone loss and helps your bones become more fracture resistant. Only Actonel is proven to reduce spinal fractures in the very first year.
Actonel is a non-hormonal prescription medicine for postmenopausal women at risk for osteoporosis. You should not take Actonel if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for 30 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Actonel and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. Find out if you're at risk for osteoporosis. Then ask your doctor if Actonel is right for you.
By this time next year, you can have more fracture-resistant bones. Act now with Actonel.
Tomorrow, on a dramatic Doc, when a boy's father collapses, Doc must find the mysterious cause.
Is my dad going to be okay?
Meningitis can be lethal if it's not dealt with promptly.
But when the mother is also stricken,
Doesn't sound like Eddie is having a seizure.
What's wrong with my mom?
that's what I gotta find out. Does Doc have what it takes to save an entire family?
Please make it so my mom doesn't die.
Don't miss Doc. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only on PAX TV.
Stay with us for more of the silver anniversary of Mrs. America.
To meet Christian singles, go to ChristianSingles.org, the nation's largest Christian singles organization since 1986. Attend numerous alcohol-free and exciting events, seminars, and outings monthly. Finally, ChristianSingles.org.
The most traumatic time we'll face is when we just lost a loved one. Crucial decisions must be made right now. What do you do? All you need to remember is Park Lawn. I'm Hank DeVry. At Park Lawn, my family is dedicated to be there for you, to provide the finest services at a reasonable cost. At this tragic time, there are dozens of details that require immediate attention, things that need to be done at once. What do you do? All you need to remember is Park Lawn.
To meet Christian singles, go to ChristianSingles.org, the nation's largest Christian singles organization since 1986. Attend numerous alcohol-free and exciting events, seminars, and outings monthly. Finally, ChristianSingles.org.
Welcome back to Hawaii and Mrs. America 2001.
before we reintroduce our lovely semi-finalists, let's take another look at just what the ladies caught in the camera lens as they share their own special view of themselves and their families. Go, girls.
I have some pictures at the MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon, right in front of the board, demonstrating how much money our state had raised. And there was a group of us at one table, and we were able to make a significant impact as far as fundraising.
I am a clinical specialist for a spinal fusion company, so I took pictures of the doctors during the spinal fusions and the nurses that also assist them.
There's one in there with my sister and I. She's my very best friend, and she's the one who entered me into the pageant to begin with. So, and we spent a lot of time together, and so I took one of her and I.
That's a picture of my grandma and grandpa. I try not to cry, but they're the best things in my life. And the reason I'm here is because of them.
All right, now, let's welcome back our 10 semi-finalists for one of the real pageant highlights. Now, over the last quarter century, swimsuits have certainly evolved. That's one of my 10 great reasons to be alive, actually, and today they're better than ever, and I got to tell you, so are the ladies inside of them. If you've been keeping count down through the years, in fact, this is the 25th swimsuit competition, and it just keeps getting better. And as you can see, so do the ladies. Don't they look terrific in their suits by Carol Weir and their special occasion shoes by Saucus.
This is Virginia. 39-year-old Loretta Ahrens is a program director for a television business show and graduated from Brigham Young University with a degree in psychology. The mother of 5 plus 2 stepchildren. Her favorite activities include Taekwondo, ballroom dancing, and food. Mrs. Maryland. 30-year-old Jimmy Latisse Thomas Gilbert is the director of UniServe and graduated from Siena Heights University with a degree in social work. She has a 12-year-old stepson, and her favorite activities range from singing to debating. Mrs. Illinois. 32-year-old Yvette Contorno is partnered in a fashion design salon in Chicago and graduated from Lake Forest College with a degree in art. She has a 6-and-a-half-year-old son, and her favorite activities include drawing, photography, clothes design, and kickboxing with her husband. Mrs. California. 25-year-old Tierra Star English Cunningham is a mortgage loan officer and a senior at Cal State University in Fullerton. She's the mother of 2 youngsters, age 4.5 and 2. Favorite activities include gourmet cooking, cheerleading, writing poetry, and 4-wheel off-roading with her husband. Mrs. Oklahoma. 29-year-old Renee Voss is a certified public accountant and graduated from Oklahoma State University with a degree in business administration. Favorite activities include scrapbooking, crafts, hiking, and playing the flute. This is Alabama. 43-year-old Kathy Midgley heads a state campaign to prevent teenage pregnancy and attended the University of Southern Mississippi. She's the mother of 4, and favorite activities include water skiing, graphic design, juggling, spinning plates, and writing children's books. Mrs. Indiana. 26-year-old Nicole Brink is a spine surgical clinical specialist and graduated from Vincennes University with a degree in surgical technology. Her favorite activities range from physical fitness to scrapbooking, and she spent 9 years dancing on Point Ballet. Mrs. Hawaii. 31-year-old Sydney Fossey is a professional model and a certified public accountant, a business graduate of USC and the University of Hawaii. Her favorite activities range from scuba diving to salmon fishing, and from dancing the hula to spinning the perfect cotton candy. Mrs. Utah. Mrs. Utah, 34-year-old Tammy Waite is a bank policy manager. She graduated from Utah State University with a degree in broadcast journalism. She's a stepmother of one, and her favorite activities range from horseback riding to camping, photography to jogging to weightlifting. Mrs. West Virginia. 41-year-old Susan Wingfield is a sales rep for an office products company. She graduated from John Casablancas Modeling School in Pittsburgh and has one son. She volunteers for the National Bone Marrow Registry, and her favorite activities range from interior design to fashion coordinating.
Well, there are only two types of people in the world, those who love Hawaii and those who have never been here. Here at the luxurious 22-acre Hilton Hawaiian Village, the official home of the Mrs. America pageant, we have been spoiled beyond belief, and each and every year, we just love it. Let's take a look at our ladies living it up in the lap of luxury.
To this year's 51 delegates, the Hilton Hawaiian Village was much more than a world-class resort. It became a place where they could understand hospitality in the true Hawaiian spirit of aloha. The Hilton Hawaiian Village is the island's premier resort, with gorgeous scenery everywhere you look. The village is also filled with waialele, or waterfalls. This was the perfect backdrop for RainSoft's water treatment system, which provides luxury water throughout the entire household. With the RainSoft system, anyone can experience the difference. But it was back on the beach of the Hilton Hawaiian Village that the delegates took part in a truly touching moment. All the ladies were on hand in a tribute and a moment of remembrance for those lost in our recent tragedy. We'll be right back with more of Mrs. America 2001, 25th anniversary of the Mrs. America pageant.
Well, if you want to find the best possible Mrs. America first, you have to find the best possible judges. And this year we have a prestigious and powerful panel that's practically perfect. Permit me. Back in 1977, our first Mrs. America winner was an actress, a model, an author, and a grandmother. And today, she is still all of that and more. Would you please welcome the First Lady of Mrs. America in more ways than one, Mrs. Ruth Johnson. And next, a master artist whose murals are among the largest on Earth, and whose paintings and sculptures of the creatures of the sea are known and collected all over the world. He is a singular talent with one singular name. Would you please welcome Wyland? And this young lady is a former pageant co-host for Mrs. America. an actress, and the current director of the Daytime Emmy Awards for the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And she is the multi-talented daughter of the multi-talented Florence Henderson. Please welcome Miss Barbara Chase. Our next judge is a well-known beauty and a fashion authority, and no stranger to pageants. She was a former Miss Texas and once was a Miss America finalist. Today, she is a columnist calling on more than 25 years in the fashion and modeling industry. Would you please welcome Miss Susan Page. Our next judge travels the country on behalf of women everywhere. She's a businesswoman, motivational speaker. She's also the leader in Actonel's educational efforts, coordinating the people and the programs doing battle against osteoporosis and trying to ensure a better and healthier life for all women everywhere. We are very, very proud of our friend, Valerie Shepard. And now a man who personifies Hawaiian hospitality, who tells the story of the islands and its people to the entire world. It's a very, very special part of our world, and no one knows it better than the Chief Executive Officer of the Hawaiian Tourist Agency. Please welcome Mr. Bob Fishman. And last and certainly not least, this gentleman is a two-time Oscar-nominated writer whose classic films have ranged from Houseboat with Cary Grant to Yours, Mine, and Ours with Lucille Ball. Three-time president of the Writers Guild, who's directed stars from Bob Hope to Frank Sinatra. Would you please welcome Mel Shavelson.
Right now, we welcome our 10 semi-finalists back for the formal wear competition, complete with husbands. Ladies and gentlemen, take it away.
This is Virginia.
I would like to be Mrs. America so that I can inspire others to appreciate the freedom and the independence that we have here as Americans. I lived overseas for several years, and I think it gave me a healthier respect for what we enjoy here.
Mrs. Maryland.
I want to be Mrs. America because it would give me the opportunity to talk about all of the innovative and dynamic things that are happening with our children in America's public schools.
Mrs. Illinois.
It would be my privilege and my honor to be Mrs. America because I would like to have the opportunity to love, support, nurture, challenge, and inspire all those families left behind due to the horrific attack on our beloved country.
Mrs. California.
I'd like to be Mrs. America to represent all of the multi-diversities of the married women of our nation, but we all have that one basic common values, and that's the love of God, the love of our families, and the love of our country.
Mrs. Oklahoma.
I would like to be Mrs. America because I believe I can be an example to other married women who strive to attain a balance between family, their marriage, and a successful career. And I would also be honored to be Mrs. America and also to promote this pageant to other married women.
Mrs. Alabama.
I would love to be Mrs. America. I've already been where so many other women are headed, and I've got a message for America, and it's pretty hopeful. First of all, life definitely does not end at 40. Second, children are a blessing at every age, even teenagers, and marriage can be very exciting.
Mrs. Indiana.
I would like to be Mrs. America because I feel that I possess the qualities of devotion and love to my family, friends, God, and our great nation. I would like to bring these qualities to the United States of America as the next Mrs. America.
Mrs. Hawaii.
Being Mrs. America is a wonderful opportunity not only to represent the married women of our nation, but all women. And I think especially being from Hawaii, it would be a wonderful chance to share the Aloha spirit.
Mrs. Utah.
I'd like to be Miss America because I could work with mentoring programs and mentors across the nation. And what that does is help to strengthen families and to improve lives of our youth and our adults.
Mrs. West Virginia.
I would like to be Mrs. America because I've been married for 25 successful years, and I feel I would be a great example of today's married woman.
Well, this is nice. This is the closest thing I've had to a date all night. Oh. It's nice to be in your company here. You know, I got to say that I was watching the guys as they were coming down. I think the husbands were more nervous than the women were.
Absolutely.
Well, they look beautiful, don't you think? All right, the search is getting tougher and tougher, but boy, we're not stopping now.
Nope, not a chance. Coming up, action, drama, suspense. You get all of that on PAX Television, you know, and a whole lot more when we come back.
We'll be right back with more from Hawaii. Aloha!
For more of Mrs. America from Hawaii, USA. Annual Mrs. America pageant, right here on the PAX Television Network.
Remember how much fun it was to see our contestants through the camera lens just a few minutes ago? Well, we thought we'd add just a little bit more fun, so we handed out a few video cameras. And here's the ladies' cinematic salute to Pageant Week here at the world-famous Hilton Hawaiian Village. So, lights, camera, and action.
This year's contestants were always on the move, whether it was working on the dance number for the show or smiling for the camera. And yes, all that smiling can tire a gal out. But it wasn't always all work for this year's delegates. A group of ladies took the time to learn the Hawaiian art of lei making. And thanks to Greeters of Hawaii, they always had the freshest ingredients. And then it would be back to work for their on-camera interviews.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a little bit of pork amongst yourselves. What would he say?
Some of the contestants even interviewed each other.
Betty bought her some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it'll make my batter bitter. So Betty bought her some better butter, put it in her better butter, make it better. That's about Betty Butter.
That was about Betty Butter.
And with Le'Veon jewelry on hand, some of the ladies felt right at home, modeling gorgeous handcrafted jewelry, including rings, necklaces, and bracelets from one of the top designers in the world. But it wasn't all glamour at this year's pageant, and when the tropical rains came during rehearsal, the girls lent a helping hand, or a voice. And this, of course, is the Hawaiian Islands. And so what better way to enjoy the sunset than with a traditional luau and a relaxing hula.
For our 25th silver anniversary for Mrs. America, we have a more than deserving set of semi-finalists, so please join me in welcoming back our terrific top 10, one of whom is on her way to a coronation.
That's exactly right, ladies. In just minutes, one of you will be wearing a crown and representing millions of married women all across America. You have done your very best, and now so have the judges. They have narrowed down the search for a brand new Mrs. America to fantastic 5 finalists. I will say that time-honored phrase again. May I have the envelope, please? Thank you again. And once again, as we read these are in no particular order.
Okay.
Good luck to you all. All right. Our top 5 for Mrs. America. Number 1. Mrs. Oklahoma.
And now we need 4 more finalists because, you know, Mrs. Oklahoma is looking pretty lonely there. So, number 2. Mrs. Indiana.
All right. 2 down, 3 to go. And according to our judges, lucky number 3 is none other than Mrs. Hawaii.
And now from the millions to the thousands, from the hundreds down to the 51 winners at the start of the evening, just 2 spaces are left. And number 4 belongs to, drum roll please as we get closer, Mrs. Utah.
Well, it would be cruel and unusual punishment to drag this out any further, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. So, with a warm aloha that we're going to say to all of our 10 semifinalists. We need 1 more, and that 1 more, ladies and gentlemen, is Mrs. Virginia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present all together for the first time our 5 finalists, one of whom is going to win the title Mrs. America. As you sit at home watching the fun and excitement, thanks to our friends at the PAC Television Network, maybe you or someone you know would like information about competing in next year's Mrs. America competition. If so, we'd love to hear from you as we get ready to kick off our 2nd quarter century representing America's greatest natural resource, the American married woman. All you have to do is contact us at Mrs. America Pageant, 2412 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 204, Santa Monica, California, zip 90403. Or visit the website. It's always good to let your fingers do the talking, www.mrsamerica.com. And you never know. If you don't try, and a year from now, we might be wishing you aloha.
Indeed, down through Mrs. America's first 25 years, we've been pleased to show you some unforgettable winning women. And right now, we're going to take a look at just a few of our favorites.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The first runner-up is Mrs. North Carolina. Mrs. America is Mrs. Louisiana.
And the new Mrs. America is Mrs. Pennsylvania. Mrs. Pennsylvania.
The first runner-up is Mrs. New York. Mrs. America is Mrs. Alaska.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up is Mrs. Hawaii. Mrs. America 1983 is Mrs. Tennessee.
That's right. The new Mrs. America is Mrs. Utah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up is Mrs. Kansas. Mrs. America is Mrs. Oklahoma.
Our winner is Mrs. Florida.
We'll be right back to the Hilton Hawaiian Village and more of the 25th anniversary and the 25th annual Mrs. America pageant.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Mrs. America pageant is truly only as good as its current title holder. And this year, as we meet here in her breathtakingly beautiful home state of Hawaii, we are proud to present the remarkable woman who represents every single one of America's married women from coast to coast. Would you please welcome her husband, Mervyn Lamb, children Amber and Matthew, and their wonderful mom, Mrs. Leslie Lamb, our reigning Mrs. America. Leslie, come on over here. What a beautiful family you have. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, of course they can. Of course they can. What a beautiful family. You must be very proud of your mom. You must be very proud of your wife. Now, we say that the American married woman is one of this country's greatest natural resources. And Leslie Lamb is certainly proof positive. We will never forget her kindness, her generosity, and the true aloha spirit that she has shared with every one of us during this pageant. And right now, a well-deserved honor as you take your final walk. And we salute Mrs. Leslie Lamb, Mrs. America.
1,000 thank yous are just not enough to express our heartfelt gratitude, for we have been truly blessed with a remarkable year. Our Father placed us on such a beautiful and exciting path that was embraced and enjoyed immensely. Merv, Amber, Matthew, and I will always remember the exciting moments that we have had this year. This journey started with love and light from the entire family. To our grandparents, parents, siblings, and extended family members, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your gifts of love, support, and continuous faith in each other. We also would like to send our deepest mahalo to all of the wonderful people here in Hawaii and throughout our nation. Your kindness and warmth will forever be placed into our treasure chest of memories.
Thank you to Dave, of 18 years of age, a citizen of the United States. While there are some exceptions for military, she must be a resident of the state she wants to represent for a minimum of 6 months. And oh yes, of course, you guessed it, Mrs. America absolutely and positively has to be married. Okay, you curious about just what the winner wins? Well, there's a treasure trove of great prizes and surprises for Mrs. America and her family, and here's a look at just some of them.
The new Mrs. America 2001 will receive Rainsoft's Apollo water treatment system, a wonderful addition to any home. To experience the taste and feel of luxury water, call Rainsoft today. Our winner will also receive a trip to Las Vegas and the luxurious Las Vegas Hilton for this year's Mrs. World pageant. The new Mrs. America will receive a beautiful collection of Carol Weir's swimsuit swimwear. Because the swimsuit became so popular so quickly, Carol obtained a patent from the U.S. government and is one of the only 4% of women holding a fully patented product. Styles and colors include exotic animal prints, deep ocean blue and seafoam green, along with many variations of tropical island designs that are so popular today. The new Mrs. America will be traveling in comfort and style, thanks to a $1,000 collection of special occasions by Saugus Shoes, designed by Diane Brenner. And her travels will include a stay at the Hilton Grand Vacations Club at Hilton Hawaiian Village, which offers Waikiki's most luxurious all-suite accommodations. Experience the fun and excitement of a full-service resort, combined with the elegance and convenience of a beachfront condominium. And after nearly 20 years, Piaggio USA has reintroduced the Vespa, the quintessential motor scooter and symbol of Italian two-wheeled lifestyle and fashion, to the USA. The new 150cc models will be awarded to our winner as Mr. and Mrs. America Vespas. Matching helmets, accessories, and apparel are available to complement the sleek machine. Mrs. America will also receive $5,000 from Actonel, a proven prescription medication. And $25,000 worth of magnificently handcrafted jewelry by designer Eddie Levion of New York await the new Mrs. America. She'll choose from an ensemble of one-of-a-kind bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings from one of the top jewelry designers in the world. And finally, Mrs. America will drive home in the 2001 Hyundai XG300. It's the largest, most luxurious Hyundai sold in America. It features smooth V6 power, a smooth shifting 5-speed automatic transmission, the safety of ABS four-wheel disc brakes, and front and side airbags. Luxury accommodations include leather seating and automatic temperature control.
We've always been proud of the fact that Mrs. America pageant is all about remarkable women and about families just like yours and mine from all across the country. But here is the very heart and soul of the Mrs. America pageant. We welcome back not just our 5 honored and very excited finalists, but we proudly repeat that we're the only major pageant welcoming not just the women, but the husbands too, and the entire family. If they can make it, ladies and gentlemen, our finalists and their families. Well, ladies, it's been a long road up to this moment, and indeed, the next few minutes are going to tell the story. Backstage, you drew numbers to see in what order you would speak. And now, we would like to take a deep breath, a collective deep breath, and address our judges. And you will be responding to this question. What makes you the best choice to be the new Mrs. America? And we begin with our first contestant here, our first finalist, Mrs. Hawaii.
Aloha. Thank you. Well, first I have to say that I have met 50 of the most incredible women ever. And it's a privilege to be standing here tonight before you. I think one thing Mrs. America needs to have is spirit and dedication and commitment, especially during this time. She needs to continue to be out in her community and communities across the nation. And I think that I have those qualities. Thank you.
Mrs. Hawaii. All right. I am moving down the line here. I'm going to squeeze in right now. And I'm now speaking to Mrs. Oklahoma.
Thank you. I believe that I could be a good Mrs. America because I believe that in all I do in my life, I strive to maintain a balance between the things that are important in my life and the things that are truly, truly should be important on all of our lives, and that is our families, our husbands, and our careers, and striving to maintain a balance between them. And I would also hope that I could be an example to young women, and I would be very honored if I were picked to be Mrs. America to do just that. Thank you.
All right. Mrs. Oklahoma. And I'm moving down and squeezing in between here. And I'm moving on now to Mrs. Virginia.
In the wake of so much strife in the United States, the one thing that really binds the family is the mother, the wife. I chose my husband because I knew that he had the wisdom to help me to raise these wonderful children. And we've been very lucky to have each other and to move forward with values that are very strong. And I feel like I can go out with that message. Every child is an individual. Every person makes a difference. And I thank you for the opportunity to be in this wonderful pageant. I've enjoyed it very, very much. Thank you.
Mrs. Virginia. All right. All right. We're moving on now. So, Mrs. Indiana.
I feel that married women today are intelligent, they're assertive, and they have devotion. They can also at the same time be graceful, beautiful, talented, have a career, a family, all in one. I believe I can bring these qualities to the Mrs. America pageant. I would be honored and blessed to hold the title of Mrs. America 2001. Thank you.
Mrs. Indiana. And our final finalist here, if I squeeze in one more time, Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Utah.
Being Mrs. America would be an honor because I could work with mentoring programs and continue my volunteer work as a mentor. We all need someone who is a strong role model. And as Mrs. America, that role is what I would want to take on, to get involved and ask national mentoring programs to support me and back me in that so that I can make a difference in our nation. Thank you.
Well, thinking on your feet is one of the most difficult things to do, and all of you ladies did just a beautiful job. Congratulations to all of you. All 5 of you have done it. We hope your husbands are as proud of you as we are. And now the really hard work is up to our judges out there right now. Good luck to them, and once again, to all of you.
Another major thrill for Mrs. America is the opportunity to join other married women from all over the world this December at the Las Vegas Hilton for the glamour and excitement of the Mrs. World pageant, televised all over the world by PAX Network. Now, if you or anyone you know might be interested for more information, please write to the Mrs. World pageant, 2412 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 204, Santa Monica, California, zip 90403. Or just visit us at the website at www.mrsworld.com, and who knows, in just a few short months, you could be a really, really lucky winner in Las Vegas.
Well, it couldn't be any closer now. We are absolutely, positively down to the wire. Our 5 finalists have spoken. The judges will speak next, so don't leave us now. When we come back, we are going to crown a brand new Mrs. America.
Pageant and the crowning of our silver anniversary winners.
Well, as we welcome back all of our lovely ladies, it's been a comfort to be in their company this week in a year that has suddenly taken such a turn and upset so many of our traditional values. It is a thrill to see that Mrs. America and America overall is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. So there you go. Aren't they beautiful?
Absolutely, beautiful. Aren't they? Absolutely. And year after year, chosen from your state, your hometown, actually your very neighborhoods all across the country. They are the very best. First, they represent millions of American married women, and then it gets narrowed down to thousands. Pageants around the country narrow it down still further. And finally, we have our 51 winners from the states and the District of Columbia. And right now, a very special hand as we welcome back tonight's 5 finalists for the title of Mrs. America 2001.
Well, congratulations, ladies. We're almost there. Our silver anniversary pageant is about to name a brand new, so exciting, Mrs. America. And here are the 6 magic words that make it all happen. May I have the envelope, please?
And there it is.
Do the honors.
All righty.
On this stage right now, our 5 finalists are backed up by another 46 winners from all across the country. Ladies, as you face an audience of friends, family, your moms and dads from one generation, your own children from another, let's blow them a great big aloha kiss. To the support team that helped make it all happen. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Mwah.
All right, ladies. The judge's word is in. Unbelievable as it may seem, the moment is here. The end is in sight. Good luck and love from each and every one of us. Are you ready? Our 4th runner-up. This is Utah.
Our 3rd runner-up this evening, Mrs. Hawaii.
Our second runner-up, Mrs. Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to take too much of your time right here, but it does seem like a good spot for a nice little, you know, one of our favorite Mrs. America pageant deep breath, like a moment thing.
You need a moment?
I need one.
All right. We'll do a quick spin around. There. Feel better?
Yeah. Better.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Of the entire silver anniversary class of the Mrs. America pageant, we are now down to the two wonderful women, either one of which could probably represent all of the married women of America. But ladies, one of you will be the first runner-up. The other is about to be crowned the brand new Mrs. America 2001.
And if for any reason Mrs. America cannot fulfill her obligations during the next year, or if she should go on to become Mrs. World, which happened 2 years ago, the first runner-up will assume the title. So here we go.
Ladies, at last, the moment is here. Our first runner-up is Mrs. Virginia. Mrs. America 2001 is Mrs. Indiana, Nicole Blake.
Mrs. America right now is putting on that traditional sash and that gorgeous crown. They are hers forever, but there's lots more of the winner's prizes in store for her. Actually, we have so much things going on right now. This is such an exciting thing.
Oh, yes, she's going to get the keys to a brand new, luxurious Hyundai. She's going to be driving that all through her reign.
Here are a pair of keys for a matched pair of exciting new edition of Vespa motor scooter. One for Mrs. America and her husband.
And with 3 new vehicles, you're going to need some gas money, so there's also a check for $5,000 from Actonel.
Also, you receive a spectacular assortment of fine jewelry valued at more than $25,000 from the New York House of Levian. Mrs. America will also receive a whole house water conditions and purification system courtesy of Rainstar.
And you'll have 1 month of luxurious living at your choice of international destinations thanks to Hilton Grand Vacations.
And here are your tickets to Las Vegas, where you'll represent your country at the international competition of Mrs. World 2000.
And here's the moment they work for on her first official walk. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mrs. America 2001.
Mrs. Indiana, where's your husband? Where's the husband? Come on up.
Yes, how about that? Her husband is joining him right now. That's Chad Brink, Dr. Chad Brink. He's in anesthesiology. An anesthesiologist. They've been married for 1 year. Isn't that great?
And now the 25th annual Miss America pageant is already one for the record book, thanks to all the friends, family, and well-wishers here at Mrs. America's fabulous Waikiki beachfront home, the Hilton Hawaiian Village. A big warm mahalo to them.
Yes, it's been another great night in paradise, hasn't it? Give me a hug, because I need one. I'm the only single guy up here. I hope it's been every bit as enjoyable for those of you watching from the best seat in the house. Thanks again to Mrs. America's television home at the PAX Television Network.
That's right. I want to say hello to my husband Martin and my daughter Jana, and thanks to everyone who has helped us celebrate our silver anniversary. 25 years saluting our country's greatest national treasure, the American. That's me, married woman.
And we're ready to do it all over again. We'll see you back on PAX next year, right here from Mrs. America 26.
So good night,
Good night, America.
And aloha.